Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl. Today I'm going to be going over a lot of the seeds that I'm going to be growing this 2025 garden season. And I just wanted to go over, show you what I will be growing this gardening season. So to start off, I'm just doing it by my weeks of when I start these seeds, and I'm just starting with my 12 weeks of when I start the seeds. So for my 12-week starts, I'm going to be starting more geraniums. This is a mixed geranium variety, and yes, I have geraniums that I have overwintered, but I'm never exactly sure how much and how well they're going to do over the winter. So I always like to start more seeds so that I have more plants to be planting, because you just never know how your plants are going to fare out overwintering them. So that's something I'm going to be doing. This is a new one that I want to try, and it's a Vinca periwinkle. And this one here is an apricot with a red eye in it. Like, that is just so cute. I love. I also have some pansies, and this one is the Mammoth on Fire pansy. I love the coloring in that. These are seeds that I've gotten from Early's, and Early's is based out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. When I was visiting my sister, I took a little trip in there and picked out some of their seeds. They're pretty decently priced seeds I have found. And this is another pansy. This is the Frizzle Sizzle pansy. Those are super cute. And then I'm going to be planting some foxglove. I did plant foxglove the year before last, and I put the plants out in the garden, and then because with the foxglove, they are actually perennial, and once you get the plant in the ground, it's just supposed to come back every year. Well, last spring I noticed that they didn't come back, so I'm gonna plant some more and see if I can get some foxglove growing and make it through the winter. Now for my 10 weeks, I'm definitely planting some salvia. I've been planting salvia for years. I really love the salvia in baskets, hanging baskets, planters, containers. I don't really put them in my garden. I don't really notice that those would be any benefit to have in my garden as far as bringing in pollinators to help out to pollinate the different vegetables, the flowers, like my squash and my cucumbers, beans, tomatoes, peppers, anything like that. I try to plant flowers that I know are going to encourage beneficial pollinators to my garden. I have snapdragons. I actually have quite 3 different varieties of snapdragons that I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to use up these seeds, and then next year I will get new seeds. I like to try and use up my existing seeds before I go buying more stuff. Well, I guess it all depends on how cute it is too. I'm going to be doing some lupins, are a perennial as well, so they will keep coming back. Now, if you don't want them to reseed heavily in your garden, you're going to want to deadhead the blooms once they start drying up. Deadhead those blooms if you don't want to have a ton of lupins reseeding themselves in your garden. Dusty Miller. I love Dusty Miller. Now, it does not flower, but it is a great addition to planters and giving a different foliage look to the planter. I also found out that Dusty Miller, deer do not like it. So if you want to have Dusty Miller in amongst your plants, go ahead. The deer don't like it, and it actually can handle a few light frosts too. I noticed that as well. I've got quite a few petunias. This is just a single flower petunia, the tidal wave petunia. I have a double flower petunia as well. I really like growing those. Then I have 3 different types of verbena. This one is a burgundy. There is no picture to this one. I should have tried to find one. Also, I have a florist mix, different mix of colors. And then I picked up this Tuscany mix as well. And I really like that, the looks of that. I like the different variety of colors to the verbena. Verbena can be a little tricky to start indoors, but there are steps that you can follow to be successful. Mine are not all successful, but on the majority, I've been pretty successful doing the verbena. These are just pepper plants. I have the California Wonder. I actually only have 1 seed left in this package, so that's all I'm going to be growing of that one. I got more jalapeno peppers. I picked up some sweet banana peppers. I grew these last year and they did okay. I just find my peppers, they seem to do better in containers on the deck than they do in my garden. That's what I found. These are a new one, the King of the North. So I didn't end up getting the Early Wonder, the bell pepper, because I got these King of the North, which is another type of bell pepper, but there's less days to maturity for those. And then I have a banana long sweet pepper as well. So those are the only peppers that I'm going to be growing. I am not going to bother growing cayenne pepper this year. I've done it for the last probably 3 years, and I've just found that they haven't developed enough that I have been able to harvest any of the cayenne peppers off of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those seeds. I'm going to a Gardeners Club meeting. It's the first Gardeners Club meeting. They start it in February, so the first Thursday of every month, we have a Gardeners Club meeting, and we can bring seeds to donate them and share with other gardeners there. So that's super fun. These are just herbs and vegetables that I'm going to be starting. I picked up these, and this is a storage onion. They're the Frontier onions, so I wanted to try and get more storage onions. I found that the onions that I was picking up, they were not a long storage or good for storage. So I ended up picking up those, but there are some onions that I had already picked up when my sister was putting an order in with MI Gardener. I ended up getting some onions from them, and they weren't really storage onions. So these are the red burgundy onions, and that's the ones I got from MI Gardener. I have some red Zeppelin onions, and these ones I got from Lindenberg, which is a company based out of Brandon, Manitoba. And then I have the Elsa Craig onion. Now that's a good storage onion, and they get quite large. And then I have the Walla Walla onion, and those are not a storage onion at all. So I have quite a few different onions, but some are just for fresh eating right away, and I only had 2 storage onions. My onions, I'm definitely going to be planting them in a different spot. They did not like being in the raised beds, and then I was reading up on it that they actually do better in ground. So I'm going to be putting those in my long rows in the back, in behind, down below my garden. Also, I'm going to try some artichokes. These are early green globe artichokes. So they have a little bit less days to maturity, and I'm going to be starting those probably towards the end of February, maybe in the third week in February. I'm also doing eggplant. I have Black Beauty, and then I picked up some Epic Hybrid eggplant. So depending on how many seeds I have left in the Black Beauty, if I don't have enough, then I'll be doing the Epic Hybrid, which I was reading up and I wanted to try that. Then we have celery. I love growing celery. It does quite well. It just needs a lot of water. And I got some celeriac seeds. I've been wanting to try celeriac, so I got these from Early's, and I'm excited to try that. I have quite a few types of basil. I like to grow basil for not just for cooking, but there are a lot of basils that you can grow and make a tea with it. And in the summertime, it's nice to be able to steep those basil leaves in hot water, let that cool, and then add, well, let it almost cool, let it be just quite a bit like lukewarm, and then add some honey to that. You store it in the fridge. Like I make up a pitcher of it, I store it in the fridge, and then I pour it over ice, and it's really nice. So the holy basil, Tulsi, that's a good one for that. I have a kitchen blend basil, and the different types of basil in the kitchen blend are the Genovese, red Reuben, and the cinnamon basil. I have a lime basil, a regular sweet basil, then I have a lemon sweet basil, and another lemon basil. I have 2 lemon basils. I don't know why. Then I have some lemon balm. Haven't been totally successful with lemon balm, so we will try it again. It's getting it started that I haven't been overly successful with it. Parsley, I have a flat leaf parsley, curled parsley, and then I have rosemary. And I'm actually going to take some of my rosemary plant that I actually brought in over winter, another plant that I brought in over winter. And so I'm going to actually take some of those stems, because that's a hardwood stemmed herb. And I want to try and make some plants from some of those rosemary that I have growing upstairs. I will also start some from seed, but I want to try making my own plants, kind of like how I do with my geraniums. And then we have leeks. I'm going to be definitely doing those. Had a really good crop of leeks. Well, every year it seems to get better. So last year was probably my best crop of leeks that I've had. And then I'm going to be starting more asparagus seeds because I want to add more plants to my asparagus bed and get that doing a lot better. So that's it for my 10 weeks. My 8-week seeds are probably at the stage where I'm starting the most seeds. Is 8 weeks, I have a whack of seeds that I start at the 8-week stage. So here are the herbs. Thyme, lemongrass. Haven't been successful with lemongrass. Got some oregano. Spearmint. I keep trying it, but I haven't been overly successful with that either. Tomatoes. 21 varieties of tomatoes. I have the mystery tomato, which I got these from a friend, and actually she gave me a tomato. I saved the seeds from the tomato, and then I started them last year, and they actually are aroma, and they turned out quite well, but I'm gonna try and grow those in a pot this year because I seen how big they got, and they weren't overly big, so I'm gonna try growing them in a pot with just a tomato cage on my deck this year. Cream sausage. The cream sausage, my sister gave me the seeds to start the cream sausage, and then I again saved the seeds from one of the cream sausage tomatoes, and I was able to save some seeds from that, so that was awesome. Amish paste. I love Amish paste. I bought these from a co-op seed at one of our gardener club meetings, and they save the seeds and then they turn around and sell the seeds, but it's a co-op gardening community, I should say. And I ended up buying the seeds from them. But then this year, what I'll do is I'll save my seeds from my Amish paste that I grow in my garden, because I know I only have a few left. A new one, I got these from MI Gardener. This is a Valencia tomato, and this one here, I got it because it is low in acid and there's not a lot of seeds in these tomatoes, so that's why I picked that up. I got new Oxheart tomato seeds. I didn't have any last year, and so I didn't end up growing them. Sun Gold Cherry, my new favorite. Black Krim, I really like those. There are more along the beefsteak tomato. We got some Cherry Roma. They were okay. I won't say that it's nothing like the Sun Gold. I love the Sun Gold. That's my new favorite. The yellow Tumbling Tom tomatoes, they're good for in a hanging basket. Celebrity tomato, it's just a slicer tomato, medium size. It's all right. Chocolate Sprinkles, a cherry tomato. Sweetie cherry tomato. San Marzano, Roma tomato. The New Girl, that's mid-size slicer. Indigo Rose, cherry tomato. Natural Black, cherry tomato. Yellow Pear, cherry tomato. This is the Old German, and that I absolutely love it. And this is more on the larger beefsteak side. And these are the Rainbow Blend, which is the Brandywine family. Again, it's a beefsteak. Aunt Ruby's German Green, beefsteak. And then the Manitoba Bush tomatoes. Those are medium-sized slicer tomato. That is it for my tomatoes. Out of those 21 tomato plants that I will be growing, 7 of them are a bush variety, and that just means that they can be grown in containers. And there was one that was a hanging variety, and it goes in a hanging basket as well. So moving on, I have still in the 8 weeks. These are my flowers from A to Z. Now the first container is from A to M because I have so many flower seeds that I will be starting, and I'm just going to list them off, the ones that I'll be doing. I'll show some of the pictures of some new varieties that I'm trying, but most of them are varieties that I have already been doing for quite a few years or within the last couple of years. Dark red marigold, I did those last year and they were really nice. Those were seeds that I had gotten from the Gardeners Club. Somebody had brought them, sharing them, and actually it turned out really nice. I have a Lemon Drop, which is a short variety. Petite Mix, another short variety. I have a Queen Sophia, and this one, I can't remember. It says 3 inches across. Oh, it gets 12 to 14 inches high. Cracker Jack marigolds, I really like those. Those are a tall variety. This is a new one that I purchased from West Coast Seeds, and this is called the Keys Orange. And the Keys Orange gets 28 inches tall, and it's a great cut flower. I have a Sparky marigold, and these ones get 9 to 12 inches high. And then I ended up getting this Inca Mix, and they get 8 12 to 18 inches high. And it's just a mix of colors of marigolds. I love marigolds. I put them all over in my garden, in hanging baskets and containers as well. They're a great pest deterrent. I have two kinds of carnations. I actually started carnations last year, no, the year before last, and last spring they did not come up, so I'm going to try their perennial. I'm going to try them again, but I have a giant mix, and then I picked up a dwarf fragrance mix from Early's. I think those will be nice too. Carnations, I love the smell of carnations. I picked up another columbine. This is a new one that I want to try. I think that's super pretty. It's an Aquilegia. Very. I picked up some Bacopa. I have a blue Bacopa, and then I have a white Bacopa too. I'm going to be doing both of those. Great for in containers. They trail down the sides. I could also use them in my circular garden, in the center of my raised bed garden, and all the little cement paver blocks that we use, I put flowers inside of them. That would be nice for them to trail over the side. I have two kinds of alyssum, the carpet snow and the royal carpet alyssum. Then I have quite a few calibrachoas. And these were all calibrachoas that I ended up getting from my sister. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of calibrachoa. I'm not going to show you all the different colors of it. I also have a couple of varieties of biddens. I have an electric white and a blazing fire biddens. My sister collected the seeds for that, so we're going to try that. I did this Lavaterra last year, and that was really nice in my flower garden. I have some dahlia seeds that I'm going to be starting again this year. Also growing some more of these are the black Niagara hollyhocks. I haven't been able, the problem with the hollyhocks is the deer. The plants are growing, they're coming back, but the deer are eating my plants down that I have no idea what colors are even there because they haven't even had a chance to even get going. Straw flower, be doing that. This is a Queenie Purple hollyhocks. I have the coxcomb. Calendula, definitely will be growing that. I like to put calendula in my raised garden beds. And then I have some balsam, and I'm just using up the seeds. I won't be getting balsam again. It's not that I don't like it, it's just I have so many flower seeds that I like to do. I just need to focus on my favorites and not so much on everything. I hate, you want to do everything, but it just isn't feasibly possible. Okay, this is a new one. It's the Peruvian bluebell, which is Nicandra. And they don't, with Lindenberg seeds, some of their packs do not have what the flower looks like. So I went through the book and I snipped out some of the pictures of what these plants will look like when they get going. I also have a Nicotania, which is a flowering tobacco plant, and this is a deep purple plant. I really like this flower. Then I have osteospermum. My sister gave me a bunch of osteospermum seeds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the osteospermum. I really like them. They're really nice in containers. So I love the osteospermum. Couple of different types of phlox. I have a dwarf beauty mix and a twinkle star mix. Sweet Williams, these are a biennial, which means they come every second year, and this is a mixed Sweet Williams. Portulaca, I like growing those and putting those in those pavers that I have that I'm growing the flowers out of. I tried this balloon flower, the Platycodon, and that one I didn't really get anything from that, so we're gonna try that again. I have stalks. Here's another Nicotiana, the green. I really like those flowers. They're just really cute. I bought these flowers in plants last year to put in so they would trail over the sides of the blocks. So I ended up picking up Nemesia, and I got the Stargate mix. So I'm excited to start my own instead of buying them. I have a lot of zinnias. This is the green envy zinnia, the Persian carpet zinnia, cut and come zinnia, the State Fair giant zinnia, California double, the candy cane, and then here are some new ones I bought. Soleado, that I think is super pretty. This one I love, the Starlight Rose. This was from Early's in Saskatoon. So pretty. And then this is a new one called the Giant Blue Point Zinnia. And this giant blue point gets 30 inches tall. So I didn't do a lot of zinnias last year, which I'm regretting because I absolutely love zinnias in my garden. And I just didn't get around to getting the seeds started. And I was kind of kicking myself for not doing that because I love zinnias. Okay, moving on to the 6-week varieties. We have the Mexican sour cucamelons. I got 2 packs of those because, well, this one I only have a few left and I ended up picking up another pack from Early's. I bought some fennel seeds from M.I. Gardner. We'll try those and grow those. Cauliflower, I have Early Snowball cauliflower and the cheddar cauliflower. I love growing both of these in the garden. I did the sprouting, the summer purple sprouting broccoli, but it didn't make it. Brussels sprouts, we'll see if I can get some Brussels sprouts. Haven't been very successful with Brussels sprouts, just saying. Scorpio cabbage, I have a few seeds left in here. I'm gonna plant the rest of these this year and then I'm going to purchase a new type of cabbage. And I do like the Scorpio cabbage, but there's other varieties that I want to try. I also have the Red Dynasty cabbage, which I did try this last year, and it did not make it. And that was my fault, not because of the seeds or the plants. It was my fault. And, and we have the Lenox cabbage. I did this last year, and I only got 1 cabbage plant that ended up making it through the year. And of course my China Gold cabbage. I love growing that. It's an Asian cabbage that I like to have. And instead of just regular broccoli, I'm just going to do the purple sprouting broccoli this year. Okay, next we have the 6-week flower seeds. I got this Apricotta Cosmos. I think that's so pretty. Borage. It reseeds itself, so I will start a couple of these, but I'm not gonna go planting a whole bunch of them. The cute little 4 o'clocks, 4 weeks. Pickling cucumbers, regular slicer cucumbers, and that's all I'm doing for the cucumbers, other than the cucamelons too. I still haven't been very successful with the cucamelons, so here's hoping I can get it done this year. Okay, we have squashes and melons. I have the spaghetti squash, bonbon squash, butternut squash, mashed potato, candy roaster. I did those last year. Grew lots of them. They were super big, like I had a little baby in my arms. And then I want to do the cantaloupes. So I'm going to try the Minnesota midget cantaloupe. They're supposed to have a shorter days. This is 60 to 100 days. And I'm going to grow them over my cattle panels, and then they can climb up those cattle panels. And then I have those little mesh bags that I use. I used them last year for my spaghetti squash, and I'm going to use them for the cantaloupes and put them in the little netted bags as well. As far as flowers go, I have a lot of sunflowers. This is the Sunspot sunflower. It's just a short version. I think it's like 2 feet tall. Floristan, I love that. The music box, I've grown those before, love those. Color Fashion, another one of my favorites. Did the Joker, that one turned out really nice. And then I have a couple of just regular large sunflowers as well. Not sure if I'm going to do those. Sweet peas, I have the Royal Family Blue Sweet Pea, Early Spencer Sweet Pea, Old Spice, Incense Mix. I really like these. These are the streamer mix. I love the streaks that go through them. Then for nasturtiums, I have a dwarf cherry rose, a black velvet nasturtium. Don't have a picture for them though. And the scarlet gleam nasturtium. And the whirlybird mix nasturtium. Morning Glories, we have the Heavenly Blue. And then I have this one here, and this is the Crimson Rambler. I really like these for that little white center on it. So that's it for these 4 weeks. They don't take a lot of time to germinate, so starting them 4 weeks before they go into the garden seems to work out relatively good. Same with the sunflowers, I find. Okay, we are moving on to my outside vegetables. These are the vegetable seeds that I will be sowing directly outside. I will not be starting them in the house. And this is the Hikuri turnips. Love, love, love the Hikuri turnips. Then we have the dwarf blue curled kale. Absolutely love that too. I'm doing the early white kohlrabi. Plus I am going to do the purple Vienna kohlrabi. I think that's so cute. I think it's going to be nice. I love kohlrabi. I still have I used the last of my kohlrabi. Was storing it in my fridge over the winter, and I just used the last of my kohlrabi. And what I did was I took sweet potatoes, rutabagas. I still have a couple of rutabagas in my fridge, the kohlrabi, some carrots, and some onions, and I chopped them all up, peeled them, chopped them all up, tossed them in melted butter and olive oil, put them on a cookie sheet, spreaded it all out, and then I shook some, it is alder smoke sea salt seasoning that I get from Epicure. Did you hear about Epicure? They're no longer. I can't believe it. I'm still so shocked over that. Nobody had any warning, so now I don't know what I'm going to do for these spices that I use all the time. So I use the alder smoke, and also I use it's rosemary and garlic. That's another Epicure seasoning. Shook that over top of everything, a little bit of pepper. Oh my gosh, they're so good roasted. We got the fern leaf dill. That's my favorite dill to grow. My corn salad and the Chinese toi choy. Love growing it. I actually saved, these are all the seeds that I saved from the Chinese toi choy. I will have Chinese toi choy for a very long time. Okay. And then, oh yes, I also have cilantro, and I like to start the cilantro out in the garden because I find when I start the seeds out in the garden, it doesn't bolt as fast as when I plant the plants in the garden. Go figure. And now we're getting into the last little bit here. These are the vegetables that are from N to Z. Zucchini, starting that outside. That's the yellow zucchini, green zucchini, rutabaga starting outside, countryside spinach, one of my favorites. This is a new one, the natural deep purple bunching onions. I grew that in the garden and harvested those. Those were good. The Bloomsdale spinach, I like that. A little bit larger leaves compared to the countryside spinach. And then my Swiss chard, the rainbow blend. Oh, bright lights, sorry, bright lights. And this is all of the green onions that reseeded, and I collected the seeds from my plant. And so I don't have to buy annual bunching onions for a while. Okay. Beans. This is just big packages of tender green beans. I'm only growing bush beans. Then I have the dragon tongue bush beans. Love those. The royal burgundy bush beans. The gold rush. And another pack of the tender green. I think I like tender green because I think I have 3 packs of tender green beans. Beets. I'm going to finish off this pack of the bull's blood beets, and then I don't think I'm going to get them anymore. Golden Detroit beets, love those for not only roasting, but also to cook and put in salads. Cylinder beets, love those, got an extra pack of those. And then I've also got some Early Wonder beets and some Crosby's Egyptian beets. So I just want to use up a lot of these beet seeds because I just find I keep buying new stuff and I haven't used up the old stuff. So I want to use those up. Next are carrots. Love the Nantes coreless carrots and the Goldfinger carrots. These are definitely my favorite. And then I have the Danver half longs. Got lots of seeds for that. I like to use those for cooking. They're fine for fresh eating. Corn. I grew the Sunny D corn last year. Gonna grow it again this year, use up those seeds. And then I got a new corn from West Coast Seeds, and this is a super sweet, and it's a hybrid corn, and it's called the Enchanted Corn. And this one, from what I was reading up on it, if you pick it, a lot of times they'll say you need to use it right away. Don't pick it and then wait a few days before you eat it. You should pick it and eat it right away. Pick it when you know you're going to eat it. With that enchanted corn, you can pick it and you don't have to eat it right away. It will last for a couple of days before you actually eat it. So I like that idea. For lettuce, I like romaine. I got some arroyo romaine lettuce. Then I have the Cos romaine lettuce. I also love the butter crunch, so I like to plant that. Then I have a red romaine. And then this is a prize head lettuce, which is another head lettuce. I actually prefer to grow my lettuce and pick the leaves off individually than to pick the whole head. For my peas, I got these from Early's, got a big bag of the tender sweet snap peas. And then my other one I like is called the Little Crunch Snap Pea. And I like those because they're not as tall. They're about 2 to 3 feet tall. And they're a snap pea as well. And I like to grow those also. Lastly, radishes. I ended up picking up a new radish, and it's called the Mini Purple Daikon radish. Great for pickling, which I really would like to do. I did pickled red onion this last summer, and canned that, and that turned out really good. Did a lot of pickles as well. I made dill pickles, and I also did bread and butter pickles. And some of the dill pickles, I did them up into slicers, so I sliced the dills and then I put them in the jar and canned them that way. I like the French breakfast radishes. I've just been finding that if you don't get to them right away, they end up getting hollow and woody, and they're not very nice. So you really need to check your radishes, pay attention to the size on them, and get them in out of the garden before they end up being to the point where you can't even use them, that they're no good. Sparkler white tip radishes, like those. The China rose radish, they're all right. And then I got the early scarlet radish. I just want to use up these radish seeds and just focus on the ones that are my favorites. But I'm not going to get rid of them. I want to use them up, and we'll eat them just the same. So that is the seeds that I have. I'm still waiting. We had a mail strike here in Canada, and the mail strike has been off for over a month now, and I'm still very, I'm not even being patient anymore. I am waiting. I want that Lindenberg seed catalog to come in. I already got the T&T seed catalog. I have the West Coast seed catalog. I'm just waiting for the Lindenberg seed catalog because I want to order some of the Gerbera daisies. I want to try those again. And also lobelia. I buy a couple of different types of lobelia. I really like the Crystal Palace lobelia. That's one of my favorites. And last year I did a mixed colors lobelia. But I think because I'm doing a white alyssum and a pinky alyssum, I think I wouldn't mind trying another color, maybe a red lobelia if I could find it, and do those instead. So I don't really have too many more seeds that I need to get. I also want to show you, I thought these were super cute. So at Christmas, my sister and her husband came from Saskatchewan, and I have told you he has a 3D printer. So he had me do up a list of all the different seeds that I plant. So he made up little plant stakes for me. So isn't that cute? There's one for peas, carrot, onion, radish, lettuce. I did want some seeds, duplicates as well for my tags. And I am gonna have to cut this video short. My camera is saying I've run out of space, so hopefully I can sign off here. So I just want to thank you for joining me. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, put in a like. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.